What we're going to be doing is creating a featured image using AI instead of stock imagery. So if you ever use stock imagery, you know that it's really hard to find good stock images. I've probably spent 10,000 hours looking for stock images. And what I found is that with AI, I could create the image I want pretty easily. But what I do is I actually combine the use of AI, Midjourney specifically, to create the subject image, and then I input it into Canva to actually create the featured image. So I don't try to do it all at once. That's difficult and not worth the effort. So what we're going to do is create a new subject for an article that I wrote in the past, and then we'll go ahead and use AI to create a new subject image to go from that. I'm also the president of Digital Marketer, and you'll actually notice at the digitalmarketer.com blog, we do use AI sometimes. So you can see here the top image, that's AI. Scroll down a little bit. The CMO's article is AI. AI and future of SEO, that's of course AI. And then if you look at my blog, all of my articles that I have in my series, I only use AI. And if you want to check that out, you can go ahead and go to marketinggrasse.com and check out the image gallery. And we're trying to update this with the actual prompts we use to create everything all the time. So let's go ahead and use Midjourney to create a new prompt or create a new subject image. So what you find here is everything you need. Now you should have a style guide when it comes to generating imagery. I'll talk about that in a later video, but for now, just steal somebody else's stuff. Go ahead and go to, not steal, borrow, and then modify and adjust. But if you go to midjourney.com, click on explore, you can actually see a bunch of awesome graphics. Now what we're going to do is update a marketing article that I wrote for the fitness industry a while back with a new image. And here you see we have a fitness girl. So it even says fitness magazine. So let's go ahead and use this image as a starting point. I'm going to go ahead and scroll over, click on the three dots, hit copy, and then full command. Then I'm going to come over to Discord, pay for the $8 service. Just try it for a month and see if you like it. It's much more valuable if you don't have to deal with all the newbie stuff. So I'm assuming you have a paid account. It should look like this. Click on Midjourney bot, go in here, type in imagine, paste the prompt, and now we're going to clean up the prompt. So we're going to get rid of the image at the beginning. This has to do with the quality, the version selected, which we don't need that, and the stylization. So if you put, it goes 1 to 1,000. If you put 1,000, it's going to stylize it, make it a lot more abstract and artsy, versus 250, which is a little bit stylized. So I like that. I think that looks good. So let's go ahead and check out this prompt. Fitness magazine fashion shoot of an athletic teenage goddess with long, I'm going to get rid of teenage goddess there. With long, dirty blonde hair in a ponytail, small two-piece swimwear. No, don't like that. Fit athletic body, that's good. Curvaceous full chest. No, I don't like that. Thighs, youthful. I'm gonna replace some of these words because these are all kind of physically based, and I don't like that. So we're gonna go ahead and say powerful. And we're going to replace some of these words. You can keep ripped because, that's kind of a, abstract way to say, like, I want this person to look like they exercise. And then let's go, instead of fitness magazine shoot, athletic, dirty blonde hair, let's see what it generates. Okay, and we're going to stylize this a little bit more. I like art, so we're going to go on and do that. So after you fix this prompt, do whatever you want to it. And ideally, again, you're going to have your own kind of version, which I'll show you how to create in a later video to, templatize how you create these images. But for now, we'll just keep it very basic. So when you don't specify, say, the camera or the lighting or the style or anything else, then Midjourney kind of does what it feels like doing. And what it'll do most of the time is create a few different stylized types in order to kind of get you going in the right direction. Now, since we said fitness magazine, it literally did a magazine shoot. Now, if you want to specify, a style, then you could say GQ or Men's Fitness or some magazine type, and it probably won't create an image that has to do with that magazine. So here you can see it did a lot of weird things. Now, when you get this initial draft, just know that some of the things will definitely be fixed when you choose your version. So in this case, you can see her face on the second version is pretty unnatural. And then same thing for 1 and 4. Number 3 is actually not bad. But again, I don't like any of these because they incorporate into an actual magazine page, which is not what I want, because I need to, what we're going to do is actually create the image and then cut out the person. So let's see if we could fix this a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and copy again, just start from scratch. Let's go imagine. /imagine, of course. Paste. Okay. So fashion shoot. So let's get rid of the whole fashion shoot thing. So let's say athletic with long, dirty blonde hair and a ponytail. Fit athletic body, thighs, powerful. Get rid of thighs too. Ripped, whatever. And let's say soft lighting and friendly. And so that's actually the fun that you're going to have using AI, is that the different words you put in, you'll usually get massively different results from the system. So, in this case, of course, I took out the word magazine, so now I don't have the person put on a magazine. And actually, the image 3 from that is not bad. So you could use that. You would just up level it and then go from there. This, we didn't specify a woman. So you can see that it actually did 2 men in here too. And there you go. So I think the word powerful is really what set this off, because that's kind of how it feels. It feels like, oh, wow, this is some powerhouses here. And these are good images. Like number 2, awesome. Number 4, really cool, except for her nose. But let's see if we could clean up her nose by, choosing that as our version. And we're going to go ahead and try to up level it. So this is number 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, up level 4. And then you'll wait a minute. And I like 2 too. I mean, it's a little Fabio-esque. So depending on your brand, you really want to think about like, okay, what's my target market going to resonate with? This is pretty hardcore fitness. All of these are hardcore fitness. So unless you have a hardcore brand, I would definitely modify this. If you say general health and wellness, usually if you use terms around yoga, yoga is a good one, Pilates, and just start to specify more, friendly fitness methods, because this is either CrossFit or, hardcore athlete or bodybuilder, so it's people use fitness as a profession or a sport. That's your target market in terms of what you would use this for. So, but we're going to use this just because it's interesting and it's a showstopper. The lighting on her hair is really interesting. So, at the end of the day, you're really trying to get people to stop their scroll. So scroll stopping posts. That's what you want to aim for. And for whatever reason, this is taking forever. So I may cut this. No, of course it goes then. All right. So this is the image. It looks pretty cool. And again, since I used that stylize 500, that's why I got this type of image. So if we click on that, that looks pretty cool. And you can see it fixed her nose. So if you look at the original, you can see it looks like she has a 3rd nostril or just 1 nostril. And now with the up-leveled, she only has 2 nostrils, which is awesome. And this image is pretty sick. So I'm going to go ahead and use this. So I'm going to click on it. I'm going to open browser, and now I'm going to save the image. Grasse, save. All right, so now I could go over to my template in Canva. So all of these Canva images, of course, are made using AI. So this is for my focus series. So let's pretend it's the focus series too. So this was actually 2 AI images used in 1 image. Now I'm going to go ahead and upload. Oh, that's not it. So many images. There we go. All right. So let's go and put it here in. And voila, we're done. Now, you actually could be done. You would need to, there's a Photoshop tool you could use to expand the background. We're not going to do that right now. I'm just going to cut her out. So in this case, what I'm going to do is actually keep her smaller, click the image, edit image, background remover. Give it a second. This is kind of a hard one. So another thing you want to notice is that if I try to do this on a black background, you get this hard contrast. And I actually like the original background that they put her in. So I'm going to go ahead and position her there. And then I'm going to use the Canva template to find a background that I like. So she's obviously in a gym, more abstract. So what we'll do is put a gym in the background. And then we will go ahead and blur it out to make it look like it's part of the original. So I'm going to say bright gym background. Look at photos, and you have a couple. You know, you could do something like this. If you want to keep the power going, boom, you know, that's powerful. But let's be a little bit more conventional. We'll do a blurred out gym. And so there you go. Now, the background doesn't necessarily fit because she's obviously taller than that, but it looks like she's in a gym. Not quite bright enough, though. So let's see if we can find a bright gym. And if you take out, you know, words, you'll start to find. Actually, this one's pretty bright. And kind of fits the environment, you know. Got some kettlebells in there. Fun stuff. Okay, now all we need to do is edit the image, and let's go ahead and blur. Blur. I'll go ahead and grab the whole thing. There we go. All right. And that's a lot of blur. Too much blur. So let's go and restore. Oh, sorry, get rid of that. Again, click on the background image, edit image, blur. Auto. There we go, that's easier. So you want enough blur, but not so much that it looks like, you know, she's not actually there. And you can see, since it is kind of an artsy image, and this happens with Canva sometimes, where you can't get your front images, just know that your images are there. Sometimes if it keeps on doing something like this, I'll go ahead and refresh. But that looks pretty good. It kind of looks like the environment should be in. The only thing I'd probably add, I mean, you could add that big starburst. Like, let's say we want like that. And then what I would do, just make sure you don't replace the background, because Canva likes to help by doing that all the time. And it's super annoying because then you got to adjust it. But we'll see if we get it to not replace the background every single time we try to do something. So I'm going to go ahead and change this, and I'm going to change the transparency, and then I'm going to put it behind my subject. So now you kind of get the benefits of both. Obviously she's in a gym, and then if this happens, just do a back step and you're good to go. But kind of, you know, I think it kind of fits. This edge is a little hard right here too, so you could blur the edges, but then you get into Photoshop. But if you just, you know, if you're just looking for a cool image, something different, I usually crop out the parts that I don't like hands, which they're supposedly having fixed, but, you know, for now, we're going to go ahead and leave it. So there you go. So now I have an image that is on brand with the rest of my images, which you can see here, and looks powerful. So there you go. Then I would render and I would put it into my blog. But that's a, you know, semi-quick tutorial on how to create a new subject image and incorporate it into a featured image for your blog using Canva and Midjourney.